Hey, Black Belt News Network. We are sitting in the gazebo in Rooster Square in Demopolis with Ms. Rachel England. Thank you so much, Rachel. I appreciate you spending some time with me. She is the district attorney for Marengo, Sumter, and
Green County.
Green County, you're right.
It's the 17th.
And it's the 17th, right? Yeah.
That's right.
And I appreciate you taking a little time out of your day because I know how busy DAs are. But tell us a little bit about, of course, you were appointed in January of this year.
Yes.
And you are the youngest district attorney in the state.
Yes, that is correct. The governor, Kay Ivey, she appointed me first of the year. So as it stands, I'm currently the youngest DA in the state of Alabama, and I'm the youngest female to be appointed and serve as DA in the state of Alabama ever as well. So,
That's amazing. And you're what, 29? 28?
Yes, I'm
Somewhere
29.
in that neighborhood?
Yes, 29. I had to think about it because I don't know. Sometimes I forget. I know I'm not old enough to forget it, but sometimes I do.
Well, I try to forget my age. And believe me, I'm a little older than you. But that's fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
and
much.
you are a Demopolis native, from what I understand.
That is correct. This is my hometown. I grew up here. I went to the public school system here.
Yeah.
My office is here. I just never left. So.
And that's why we're doing it in the gazebo, because if you look, the building in the background that was once an old bank is her office. And I thought this would be a nice, pleasant place to have a conversation.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. You, obviously from Demopolis, went to Demopolis High School. So what did you do after that?
So I grew up here. I was in the band here. I was on the dance team in the band.
Cool, yeah.
Just everyone who, the business owners, everyone in this community, I've just known my whole life.
Right.
So I've seen a lot of support from the community in that way. And after graduating high school, I went to the University of Alabama for both undergrad and law school.
Great.
And the district attorney at the time, Greg Riggers, who was my mentor for about 13 years, he let me remain working for him all throughout my school years.
Right.
And I decided I loved watching him do what he did, and I wanted to be a part of that and use that to serve people. So I decided to keep my job with him, and then it turned out where I could get the appointment and take over the legacy sort of he created.
Now he's a judge now, if I'm correct.
He is a circuit court judge now.
And that's when he retired to do that, so that's when you took over.
Yeah, so he that's a lot of service if you think about it, over 20 years as DA, and then now he's not going to the House, he's pretty much starting over as circuit court judge.
Right.
So.
And that's a big shoes to fill. But had it been, I mean, have you found it intimidating, exciting? What did you find when you came in here and started literally taking over as the district attorney? Yeah.
I think it's all of those things. So there was some comfort in the fact that this is what I've known for the last 13 years. I was the DA Grigger's only full-time assistant DA. So it wasn't that it was unfamiliar. I think the adjustment that I'm making is not having him there anymore as the other full-time attorney.
Right.
So now I'm just down to part-time ADAs. So that's kind of an adjustment, but I'm really loving it. And I feel like it's what I was always been called to do, and I'm getting to do that. I'm getting to serve people and serve the community that I grew up in. Yeah. Because I first started practicing in Green County, actually.
Oh, wow.
When I got my practice card in law school, that's where I really started. So you and essentially still practicing in Green County now. That's right, Green, Marengo, and Sumter, which I was doing all three of them, but that's really where I got to whip out that practice card and learn some things.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you have coming down the pipe? I know one of the good things is this area, it's not like a real super crime-ridden area, but I'm sure you've got your challenges. What are some of them that you see, and what are you doing to work towards those things, to fight those things?
So I think there are two challenges that are being faced by our office in the position that we're in. So the first one is the conflict dockets that have been created. Those are the older cases that existed when Judge Griggers was DA at the time, and he cannot preside over those. So we're working at a pretty quick speed to resolve those so we can move on to his new dockets. So essentially we went from one judge to 4 judges because there's one covering each of his county conflicts. Right. That's the first challenge, which I think we're working through that pretty well. The other one is a challenge that I think has kind of always been here, and that's practicing and having a law enforcement presence in a rural community. We just don't have the resources that the big cities have.
Right.
We're spread out from each other. So something that I am doing to hopefully combat that is I'm starting a major crimes unit.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be a circuit-wide major crimes unit, so we will take officers from every agency, every sheriff's department, every police department in each county, create a major crimes unit, and so when a major crime occurs, a shooting, a murder, etc., we will all respond as a circuit-wide unit, and it'll just be an increase in manpower. It gives me an opportunity to fundraise for equipment.
Right.
We can provide training. I know the State Bureau of Investigation has committed to helping us with training, crime scene processing, interviewing, so on and so forth. So that's kind of the first thing on my agenda that I've wanted to start that's new in taking this position.
When will that actually start and be kicked off?
So it really kind of functions behind the scenes already, just because as a DA's office with our investigators, we're always assisting.
Right.
But next month, we are going to launch it officially to the public, be asking for funds, and hit the ground rolling.
Great. Well, I want to be here for that.
Yeah, absolutely. We would love for y'all to come back.
Oh, yeah. We'll be here. What else you got going on? Anything else at this point, or do you have other ideas that you might be putting into play soon?
I think we're just trying to work through, like I said, that conflict docket. There's a lot of, around COVID, we had a slew of capital murder cases occur.
Yeah.
And so, capital murder cases take longer than regular cases. They take a week at a time. They take your whole trial week, really. And when you have limited trial weeks like we do, that kind of puts you behind. So we have a couple of older murders, capital murders, that I think are kind of first up on my plate to address and get us closer to the new court docket with Judge Griggers.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
What is something that you would like for the people of the 17th Circuit to know about the District Attorney's Office now that you are the DA and you're the boss?
I think that a lot of people, especially if you're watching TV or even just current sentiments in society now, tend to look at law enforcement, I think that includes DAs, as a negative, or we put people in prison. And I think that does occur in some instances, especially in particularly violent crime situations, but we function as more than a prosecutorial function. In the traditional way that I think people kind of project on us. So for example, some of the programs that were in place when Judge Griggers was here, we participate in those. Diversion courts, drug court, to help people get clean and not result in a felony conviction on their record if they complete the program.
Right.
We do a veterans court, a mental health court. It functions the same. We also still have our drug task force, so we do interstate interdiction, taking drugs and proceeds from the drug trade off of the interstate. And that overlaps with other things. Sometimes there are instances where I think you stop human trafficking from occurring. So we kind of cover different avenues beyond just going into the courtroom and sending people to prison like I think some people think that's all they do.
Right. Yeah, a lot of people, they expect you watch an hour-long TV show and the guy is caught, or girl or whoever, caught, arrested, convicted, and in jail in an hour.
Right.
And it doesn't work like that in real life.
No, it doesn't. It's just part of it. I think cases typically take at least a year to work through the court system, and that's just because defense attorneys have their job to do too, and they review the evidence and the discovery, discuss it with their client. We work together to try to resolve it in the instances that we can, and then the ones that you can't, you have to try them. And that's just the nature of it. But even that part of the process takes at least a year. And that's just the nature of it with the limited attorneys that we have on both sides and the amount of cases that we have.
One of the things about Demopolis and Marengo County that I always loved, especially when I was living here, and now even, is it is relatively crime-free compared to so many other areas. What are some of the statistics or some of the, maybe instead of asking you how many murders, well, how prevalent do you think, or do you see crime in this area?
That's a really good question. I think luckily for the most part, we still are protected from having, the amount of murders that they would have in the big metropolitan areas. Now, during COVID, we did have a rush. We had about 5 to 8 murders, most of them capital, within a span of 2 months.
Oh,
now that
wow,
was
yeah.
abnormal. Since then, we've had a couple of murders over the years that most people are familiar with. Here recently, unfortunately, we've had a couple. We had a shooting case in Forkland and Greene County at the dollar store. A lot of people heard about that one. Those are typically one-offs, though. We're still working through those COVID cases. So the capital murder case that remains on that involves the killing of a baby, so that one will take a while.
You made me cry.
Yeah, it's hard. Since then, we've had one more baby that's been murdered in Sumter County, a 17-month-old. So that'll be something to work through. We had a murder here in Demopolis out from the local gym that occurred a couple of years back. So it's sort of it's not as often or as common. Unfortunately, what I see becoming more and more common in this circuit, including Demopolis, is gang violence and shooting cases that occur as a result of it. We did have a case in Demopolis, a drive-by shooting that resulted in a 19-year-old being killed. Just sitting in a home, wasn't involved in either group, either beef at all, and she was killed.
Most tragic.
So unfortunately, I think what we're seeing an increase of is shooting into cars, homes, shooting at other people, even with children outside, and as a result of gang affiliations and gang beefs is what I call it.
Do you have anything to fight that right now, or is that something that you got on your plans for the future?
We do. So I think that's where the major crimes unit will come into play, because the better case you can make when these shootings occur, you can address these people essentially one by one and try to protect the community that way. Those cases can be hard. If you think about it, if you take issue with me, you don't like the way I talk to you in this interview, and you just drive by my house a week from now and shoot into it, it's really hard to prove.
Good point.
So by increasing
our, don't think about.
That's right. Yeah, it can be hard, especially if people don't have cameras. You know.
Right.
So I think by starting the major crimes unit that will address major crimes like shootings, we can be quicker, be more proactive in responding to these cases, and hopefully address it that way.
Fantastic. Is there anything in wrapping or we wrap up that you would like to say in particular? I know I kind of already asked you that, but is there anything in particular you really want to get out there as we close out?
I think just two things. I'll put the shameless plug first,
okay,
so I don't end on that. But if anyone is interested in learning more about the Major Crimes Unit or want to contribute financially to it, we would appreciate that so much.
Okay.
We're going to use it to buy all kinds of things you wouldn't even think that we necessarily still need, like interview cameras, for example. Some of the agencies don't have cameras where they can interview on the go. They're having to use their body cams, which just doesn't work the same. And then the other thing would be that I'm just grateful for the opportunity to serve the 17th Circuit. You know, I think you know, it seemed, I'm trying to think of how to say it.
I can add it.
Yeah, because I blank every once in a while. I'm surprised I haven't blanked yet, but I think I'm kind of sleep deprived, so I really don't know what I've been saying.
I understand.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm grateful for the opportunity to come back home and serve my home here in the 17th Circuit. I consider Greene, Marengo, and Sumter my home.
Right.
So I'm grateful. Yeah, I mean, I'm grateful for the opportunity from the governor and from the people to be able to help contribute to serving and protecting them. Right. And I'm going to work every day I can to be better at it and give it my best. I've got a great staff. I'm thankful for them too. We're all working together to carry on that legacy that Judge Brigger's.
Well, you know, just from the short time that I've sat here with you, I have no doubt that Demopolis and all the surrounding counties are in good hands.
That's great, yeah.
So thank you so much.
That.
I appreciate you spending time with us.
Yeah, so nice to meet you guys in person.
Yeah, you too. Thanks, Black Belt News Network.